We're going to start tonight, though, with the breakdown, and it turns out that one local county passed a budget that doesn't add up. Good evening to you. I'm Scott Thuman.
I'm Michelle Marsh. The Prince George's County Council adopted a budget 2 weeks ago that was not balanced. They're now past the legal deadline to get a budget sorted out, but they have to vote all over again on a revised plan.
Yeah, a bit of a mess out there, and our Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell has been seeking answers about how exactly that happened. He joins us now live from Largo. And Brad, there's probably a lot of finger pointing going on right now. Who's to blame here?
Yeah, well, the council members, the council chair, they are blaming the staff. Look, we were out here the day they were supposed to approve the budget, adopt the budget, I should say, and it was delayed from 11 a.m. until about 7 p.m. when they finally got it together that night. And what we were told was they were struggling to get all of the documents done, to get the budget together, get the numbers on the paper. And now what we're finding out is in one part of the budget for the Parks and Planning Commission, they didn't get the numbers right. 2 weeks ago, after hours of delay and confusion, which the council chair blamed on inexperienced staff, the Prince George's Council adopted a $6 billion budget they said was balanced without major cuts or tax increases.
We are really being intentional about investment in economic development.
But it turns out staff wasn't intentional enough about the numbers, because when the number crunchers at the Park and Planning Commission went over their portion of the budget, they found errors significant enough that the adopted budget as written wasn't in fact balanced as is required. So they notified the council, who notified the county executive, who then sent this letter to the council saying, you got to do it over.
There were some errors in the line items, some clerical errors that needed to be changed. So we identified those, sent the information to the council, and they're going to adopt those changes tomorrow.
We asked Council Chair Crystal Oriata how the council could vote to approve a budget with what County Executive Braveboy's letter calls clerical and numerical errors. She blames that council staff.
I think the team did an amazing job, but like I said, it was their first time doing it, and they made some technical errors.
Others blame Oriata's leadership and transfers of money from Parks and Planning to fund community programs favored by council members for creating last-second confusion. In a statement to 7 News, Councilmember Sidney Harrison said it will leave Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning in shambles, adding, quote, "This is unprecedented, unreal, and unbelievable." It's a criticism Oriata rejects.
The reality is that some council members don't pay attention to the budget process. They're not as engaged, and they're running for office, and they think it's great talking points.
Yeah, and so the council, Sarah, is really saying this is not a big deal. They're going to meet tomorrow at 1:30, and they will adopt this resolution approving this section of the budget for Parks and Planning. But obviously, you heard there from that statement, some of the other council members are not happy about this. They felt on the night the budget came out, they weren't given any time to review anything, and this could be a little bit of proof that they were right. Scott?
Yeah, sounds like there was a lot of confusion on that end. What, Brad, is going to be the impact here, if any, of this do-over on taxpayers?
Yeah, and so look, for the council chair and for the county executive today, they say this does not change the part of this big $6 billion budget that they're proud of, that they were going into this cycle with a deficit. They managed to close that deficit and overall balance the budget without doing any big tax increases and without any cuts to services. Now, other people can say that there are questions that taxpayers should have about how this process is working and how carefully they're carrying it out. In Largo, Brad Bell, 7 News.